Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and to another Transformers review, but with a slight difference. Yes, this is the second of the Trumpeter model kits from the Bumblebee movie. If you've seen my Bumblebee build, then thank you for watching. First of all, it was a first for me. I've not done a model kit on camera before, so yeah, I've had some good feedback, so thank you for that. I appreciate that. But this is the second one. This is Blitzwing, who I still keep wanting to call Starscream. I know we've all been over it, but it just looks so much like Starscream. But yes, so we're going to do this the same way. So I'm going to have a look at the box first, as we always do, and then I will get all the pieces out. I will go through the build, and I will timestamp it so that if you don't want to watch the build, then you can just skip past it. The build of the Bumblebee one, I think, ended up being... the whole video was like an hour and 10 minutes, so the build was about 40 something minutes, I think. So it wasn't too long, but if you're not into that, then you can totally skip past it and just see what it looks like at the end. But right, yeah, let's have a look around the packaging. They're calling these smart kits. I guess that's like the new name for model kits that you don't have to really do much with. So anyway, this is number 2. Obviously Bumblebee was the first one, and it is of course Blitzwing. It says no nippers required, no glue required, easy to assemble, and is pre-painted, and yes, they are. They're pretty cool. So that's the front. Nice picture of Blitzwing there, like that. And then on this side we have some poses and just some pictures of what the kit looks like. Movability, so yeah, they are quite well articulated. Detailed, again, yes, going on the Bumblebee one, it is beautifully detailed. And you can see here's the Bumblebee here, and there's Blitzwing, and he is quite a bit bigger than Bumblebee, as he should be. And there's just some pictures of what the kit ends up looking like once you've done it. Oh dear, oh, that looks uncomfortable. And then on this side you can see Blitzwing there. And there's all the Decepticons on this side, and I really hope they do more of these. I have a friend who's really into, well, I have a couple of friends who are really into Optimus Prime, but one of them said to me, I hope they do Optimus Prime. And I said, well, it's going to happen because it's on the box, and they've got all of the Decepticons on the box on this one as well, so as soon as possible, please, chaps. I really want these two. I mean, I want them all, but obviously long-time viewers will know that Shockwave and Soundwave are my two favourite bots, so yeah. Anyway, all the usual warnings, and then there's that there. Again, there's nothing on the back, it's just a box. So yeah, that's about it for the packaging. So inside, just pop this open. Last time I did this it all fell out. It's just what you would expect from a normal model kit. So everything is on sprues. You can just you can pop them off. They just push off. As you can see, it's all pre-painted. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to go away and I'm going to take all of these out of the plastic, and then we'll come back and have a closer look at each. Well, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the sprues, but I'll just give you an idea of what they are. So I'll be right back. Alright, so here's a look at everything you get in a box, and it's not too exciting because it's just stuff on sprues. Now, I should say before I go any further, I should have said it before, but I'll say it now, that this video is sponsored by Robot Recruits, but that in no way influences my opinion of the kit. So yeah, if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But I did really like the Bumblebee one. I was really surprised at how much I liked that, actually. I've never really been into snap kits. I've always glued and painted. Even snap kits I've glued and painted. So it was new for me to just snap a kit together and actually really enjoy the finished product. It's yeah, they're really good. I really enjoyed the Bumblebee one, so I'm hoping that I enjoy this one also. So right, with that out of the way, let's have a look, and you get some instructions. Now, if you have seen the Bumblebee one, you will know that I did muck it up in a couple of sections. But that was nothing to do with the instructions, and that was more to do with me not reading them correctly. But this is what you get. It shows you what you get in the box, so you get a nice little checklist there just to make sure you have everything. There's the same pictures that were on the side of the box, and if you do want to paint it, then here is a colour guide. Now again, as I said in the Bumblebee kit, I have no idea who Mr. Colour are. I have never heard of them, and I have been modelling for over 30 years, so I did actually find out that this company, Trumpeter, they have been doing military vehicles, tanks, jeeps, they've done some aircraft, and some battleships. So they are based out of China, so I'm gonna assume that Mr. Colour is a Chinese brand. I don't know if you'll be able to get there. I've never seen it in the UK. I don't know about other countries. But yeah, this is the colour guide if you want to paint. If you're in the UK, I would highly recommend either Tamiya paints. Games Workshop paints are good, but they're expensive. Humbrol, also very good, but I would stick, if this is your first kit, then I would stick to a water-based paint, so Tamiya or Games Workshop. I would also recommend Test Stores, and I completely forgot to check that if they still make it. I'm pretty sure it used to be a German brand. We used to have it in the UK, but I haven't seen it for a while. I don't know if they still make it here. But those are the brands I'd recommend. Tamiya are the most expensive, but they do give the best results. So if you do want to paint it, then I would definitely recommend looking up these Mr. Colours, seeing if there's a guide for what colour they actually are, and then getting the most appropriate Tamiya paint. But it's just a suggestion. Like I say, if it's your first kit, then definitely go for a water-based paint, because then if you make a mistake, it's easily removed with a bit of water. So right, there, these are the build instructions. As you can see, they are fairly easy to follow. There you go. You'll get to see these properly on the way through anyway. I will be referring to them on the way through the build. So that's it for the instructions. Again, quite nice. And then the rest of it is basically, you'll be seeing it during the build. Everything is just on sprues. Here's just a general look at part A, and you can see everything is already painted for you, so you don't have to paint it. So there's those. They're all hard plastic, ABS plastic, apart from this sprue. This one has some more rubbery parts on it. You can see it's a lot more flexible. So yeah, this has hands, and I'm actually not sure what that bit is yet. It's got that drill bit there, and you know. And then you get a stand, and there's a sprue here. This sprue here is the armature for the stand, so you get that. And what I like about these stands is that you can actually connect them together. So when we get to the comparison bit and I get the Bumblebee out, then you see we can snap these stands together. So that's cool. I like that. And then you just get the one head with this one. You just get the regular Blitzwing head. So you can see there. It's quite it's tiny. It's difficult to hold, but you can see there it's quite nicely painted. So yeah, so that's it. That's what you get in the box. So right, now the way I did this last time was I just did it, I shut up. I actually shut up. Staggering, isn't it? But yeah, I did it silently. I just put some music behind it. So I'm going to do that this time. So I think I've talked about everything that I need to talk about on this part of the video. So if you want to watch me build it, and maybe you're building it along with me, then please stay tuned. If not, I will see you at the end of the video for my final thoughts. So let's do it. then, that is Blitzwing all finished, and thank you to those who stayed with me through the build section of the video, much appreciated. Yeah, if you did watch the build video, build part of the video rather, I apologise that I did a couple of bits wrong. I put one of the knee joints I put in incorrectly the first time. I did go back and correct that, and I forgot to put this canopy piece on, so I'm getting better. That was less mistakes than the Bumblebee one. See, the thing with model making normally is that you would cut them off the sprue and then you test fit all the pieces first, but because I'm doing this directly on camera, I can't test fit the pieces first. So yeah, there's probably, if I do any more of these, there's probably going to be a few more instances of that happening, so you just have to bear with me if you would. But anyway, now that he's completed, let's have a look at him, and yeah, he's cool. Now I will say he's not as big as I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be like considerably larger than Bumblebee, but he's not massively bigger. But I'll bring Bumblebee in a minute so we can have a closer look, but let's do this first. Now I have done it as per the instructions. Obviously you saw I didn't trim the pieces off the sprues, I just popped them off. That does mean that you're going to get quite a lot of flashing left over in places. See, there's a bit there, and there were a couple of other places. It's not massively intrusive though, I think that's the worst bit. You could easily go over that just with either a knife if you're proficient, or just a little bit of sandpaper will take those off. But for the most part he cleans up quite well, and he looks good. He does look good. Now I don't have my Studio Series Blitzwing to hand. He's up on a high shelf, and yeah, I can't get to it at the minute. I do have Thrust though, and it's pretty much the same figure, so we'll get him in a minute to have a comparison with. But yeah, I mean, for a little model kit, I think he's nifty. I do like him. He's got some nice paint on him. That gold is lovely, that really pops. Do like that. Oh, the gloss is very glossy. It's very, very nice. See there, the red. I especially like the red on the intakes here. That looks really good. But yeah, it's nice looking. I think my only complaint with it is that although it's nice to have these already tampoed on for those who don't want to paint it, for those who do, it's going to be a bit awkward. It would have been nice if they would have included a little sheet of water slide decals for those who are, you know, intending to paint this up like me. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a bugger to get around. I mean, it looks great, don't get me wrong. It looks alright as it is, but I do like to paint my models. But I think this one looks better paint-wise than the Bumblebee one. I think it's just because it's broken up a bit more with the reds and the blues. You've got these whites as well, obviously, on the certain parts. But overall, yeah, it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. Now, articulation wise, he does have a fair bit. If you watched the build part of the video, then you would have seen some of it. His head is ball jointed. I will say I'm a little bit worried about the spike on the back. I keep feeling like I'm going to break that off. I keep forgetting that it's there. But the head is ball jointed, so you can get a fair amount of movement out of it. It's not great, it's not like the best thing ever, but for what he is, it's pretty decent. And then you've got some interesting articulation at the arms as well. Now the arms can go in and out like so, and they can rotate also, but they are on a little bit of a butterfly joint, so you can move them backwards and forwards a little bit. So that's forwards, backwards, there you go, see? So you get a nice amount of articulation in there. You can also move these bits here as well, so you can get some movement from there. It does have upper bicep rotation, but you have to be careful because these, obviously, they're all just pegged. He does have a single joint at the arm, but it's pretty good. The hands are pegged, so they just rotate. He does have a waist rotation, his legs can go out. Actually not that far, because this bit here gets in the way, but you can kick him out a bit and then bring them out, but it's more like sideways movement then. And he can get quite a lot of movement out of the side. Also there is some rotation at the thigh. I'm going to pull that leg off if I'm not careful. I did have difficulty getting them to stay in place as well, if you saw that. He's got a lovely double jointed knee bend. You get a lot of motion out of that, so that's good. And then his foot is on a ball joint, so you get all kinds of movement out of that also. So yeah, he's really nicely articulated. Oh, and the wings also. You get a lot of articulation out of the wings because they're on a ball joint. So yeah, you can get some great posing out of him for sure. So speaking of posing, you do get the stand. I just sort of put it together in this just for that bit of the video, but you know, you can put it together however you like. And as you can see, you get a nice Decepticon logo on the front. That's going to look lovely with some paint on it. And the base itself is quite nice. It's got some nice detailing on it. It's the same as the Bumblebee one, but you know, don't have an issue with that for the price. That's no problem with that at all. So you can, if you want to, use the stand. And here's the peg hole that you use. And you can just pop him. You can get him. I'm not very good with posing with stands, I have to admit, so I'm sure you can come up with something that looks a lot better than it's just having a really bad fall. But yeah, you can absolutely get some decent posing out of him. He's cool. So that's the stand, and the other thing to talk about are the weapons and the interchangeable hands. So he does have his gun, which you saw me put together. It was only 3 pieces, but there it is. Looks pretty good. And you can just pop his hand off, and then just pop it over. And there is I don't know if you can see that down there. It's very dark in there. There you go. There's a little peg in there, so it will just peg into his hand. That on. I can't remember which way up this goes. Was it just to the side? I forgot. No, I'm just going to leave it like that because I forgot. So you can have him wielding that. But if you don't want him with that, then you can give him this scary thing that he attacks Bumblebee with. So like a hand drill jobby. Now, I mean, you could use this on either hand, but in the movie he uses it on the right hand, I believe, so I'm going to put it on his right hand. And, there you go, that's in with that on. There, looks alright, looks pretty good. Yeah, maybe would have liked some detailing on the fingers for this one, just to pick those fingers out. There's none on that side either, but at least the fingers are separated so you can see them. It would have been nice, just a little bit of paint on there, but if you're intending to paint it, then that's easily done. And if you want, he has 2 fisted hands, so you can swap for one of those. And there you go. Now sadly he doesn't have a Bumblebee throttling hand, it's just the open ones, but yeah, I'm sure you could figure something out with that if you wanted to. It's not in the right part of the scene anyway, is it? You want the other Bumblebee for that, the Jeep one, don't you? Which I do not have. So just a couple of things to note. There are a few pieces on the sprues that you don't use. You don't use this. I don't know. They're obviously going to come up with another jet one. Oh, is it? No. I thought maybe it was like a cone head bit. I can't quite work out what that bit is. If anybody has an idea of what this bit might go to, then do let me know. There's that bit there. And then on the... Oh god, I've lost it. Where'd I put it? On this sprue, on sprue B, you don't use these, and you don't use these. So there aren't as many parts as there were in the Bumblebee kit that you don't use, but there's a few, so yeah, just take that into account when you're building it. So, right, speaking of the Bumblebee, let's bring him in and we'll have a look at how the two match up against each other. I mean, Bumblebee is shorter. Let me just put them, well, let's just put them side by side, you can get an idea. He is shorter, but I feel like he, like the Blitzwing one wants to be bigger. I don't know if that's just me, it just feels like it's not quite big enough. Although I've only watched the film a couple of times and it was ages ago the last time I watched it, so I might be wrong. But it just feels like it should have been a little bit bigger, but it's not too bad, it's not horribly undersized or anything. I mean, you can still see how you can't look down at Bumblebee, sadly. You get a general idea. That's what the two of them look like together anyway, and I think they look pretty good. I quite like them. Yeah, they look decent. So that's the Bumblebee, and then just to give you an idea, I've done it again, that's the second time during this video I've knocked my camera, to give you a general idea of what he looks like with a mainline figure. Here is Thrust. So yeah, he's definitely nowhere near a Voyager class, that's for sure. So yeah, he does look quite dinky, but you get the idea, because you know, Thrust is the same figure as Blitzwing, just with that bit of cone head there, so you get the idea. So yeah, he's probably, I don't know, what have I got? Hold on a second, let me see if I've got anything. I haven't got anything transformed. I've got everything in bot mode. Hold on, just one second. Alright, here he is with Bumblebee Movie Ratchet, and that's a deluxe class figure, so you should get an idea of scale there. So he's an old Legends class, I would say, like Commander class from about Prime, somewhere around there, I would say he is. Yeah, it looks to be about that. I have got a review of this coming, but every time I try and transform this on camera it fights me, and I don't know why, because I've got it down pat otherwise, and it's just like every time it just doesn't want to work. Anyway, so yeah, what else do I have to talk about? Oh, we were going to talk about the stands clipping together, weren't we? So yeah, you can totally do that. So it's fairly simple. You're just going to put those two bits together, and I'm not going to put it all the way down because I don't know if they're going to come apart again, and I'm not ready to display them yet, so I'm just going to leave them like that. So yeah, you get the idea there. You can put the stands together, so that'll work. As you get more of them, you can sort of make like a beehive out of them, I guess. That'll look quite good. I am actually quite glad, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, I am actually quite glad that I've got an extra one of these, because I bought that life-size matrix that I can't remember who made it. It's life-size to humans matrix, and there's a big spot on the base for an Autobot symbol, and I think that might fit, so yeah, I'm quite pleased that I got an extra one of them. Tangent over. Right, so yeah, yeah, he's cool. I like him. Just wish that they would have put some decals in. Just put some decals in the box for those of us that wanted to paint him. But otherwise, if you don't want to paint him, he looks great. I mean, he's probably got more paint apps than most modern Hasbro releases, if I'm honest. He's very well painted. So if you wanted to just leave him like that, then you could absolutely do that. He looks fantastic. So that's it. Those are the two that I have. I will absolutely, definitely be getting more of these. Thanks to Phil over at Robot Recruits for letting me do these for you. I'm well honoured, I really am, because I'm such a tiny little channel, and it's really nice to have somebody really believe in me, well, somebody who isn't my mum, anyway. So thanks for that. do go over to Robot Recruits. I'll put a link in the description where you can get these from. He's brilliant, is Phil over at Robot Recruits. Top guy, really nice. Any problems dealt with straight away, no hassle. Not that I've had any problems. He's been brilliant. Check out the Collectors Club, because if you buy into that, it's £20 for a year, and you get 10% off of all of your purchases, no matter what you buy. And if you spend over £100, you also get free delivery. So yeah, it's fantastic. I've had the club for a year now, and I've saved myself an absolute fortune. So yeah, definitely check that out. So right, I think that's it. So as always, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.